mile. At the roundabout, take the first exit onto Burnham Lane.
Any policies that you tell people about? Perhaps it's best to keep your powder dry. You know, I don't know whether that's the case with her or whether or not there's just nothing there to actually offer. But the fact is that if she gets into the final two, she wins, right?
I think you are probably right, and it's a slightly cynical way of looking at the way to run a campaign. But perhaps that is the way that you kind of do it. In the end, she didn't make any massive mistakes. There weren't kind of any, as far as I can tell, any sort of viral moments from last night where someone kind of got something disastrously wrong, or someone got themselves into a position where that's the thing they're going to be remembered for. And in a sense, for Penny Mordaunt, if she has got this lead amongst the membership when it comes to if she got in the final two against Rishi Sunak.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Bath Road, A4.
And so I think, especially when Liz Truss, was doing quite poorly, I suppose in the end that sort of helps her really.
One word, please, and just give me the name that you think will win this contest. One word.
Okay, one word.
You don't have to, Alan. You don't have to.
Starmer. I'll say Starmer.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Turn right onto Bath Road, A4.
11 is the time. That's Alan Tolhurst, Chief Reporter for Politics Home. Sir Bob Neill is with us, Chair of the Justice Select Committee, Conservative MP for Bromley and Chislehurst. Sir Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning, Andrew.
Well, did you find that entertaining or instructive or both last night?
Well, I think it was a bit of both. I obviously probably know the candidates better than the members of the public, because I've worked with them. But even so, you find out things about people and how they perform under pressure, actually. And yeah, I thought it was entertaining. I think a lot of people I spoke to did. But I think the key thing for me was that Rishi Sunak was clearly the person who was commanding the debate. I think Alan's right about that. And that's because he was actually on top of the detail, and he was prepared to talk about, the key issue, which is the economic threats and the crisis that we've got, inflation, cost of living.
It was an odd one, isn't it? Of course, he's a master of a brief. If we're talking about a cost of living crisis and having come through COVID and taken on all the debt, having been Chancellor until, a week or just over a week ago, of course, you would expect him to be on top of the brief. I agree with you. I think he...
Continue on Bath Road for 3/4 of a mile.
An exchange with Tom Tugendhat in terms when Mr. Tugendhat revealed that Rishi Sunak only agreed to the national insurance tax hike because the boss wanted it. The look on Rishi's face there, the cameras did very well to pick up the reaction. He was a bit shocked, your man.
Well, I think it's surprising, because anyone that's been in government, and perhaps I like Tom very much, but he hasn't, would have known that it's inevitably in government, if you're part of a team, there will be give and take. And actually, I think perhaps Rishi is a bit surprised that hadn't been realised by my friend Tom. That is the way government works. Rishi, I know, did not want an ideal world to have in tax increases, but he recognised very properly that we needed to fund the NHS because of the massive pressures that there were with the COVID pandemic. So I think his then response to it was, well, that's the realistic thing, I'm afraid. The long-term objective is to reduce tax, but you can only do that when you can afford to do so. And that's why I think those comments that Alan was picking up about let's not get into unrealistic economic promises is something I think will cut through with the public.
Yeah, it may do, but to be realistic and to be honest is to deliver news that we all don't want to hear. And so that's why, perhaps... that's I'm sure it's a positive to hear the truth, but a negative in terms of trying to win a race.
But that's leadership, Andrew, at the end of the day. That's genuine leadership, is saying the hard things. And I think the interesting point that Alan picked up at the very end was his last comment about who's the winner. He says Starmer, that's the person...
In 200 yards, at Huntercombe roundabout, take the first exit onto Huntercombe Spur heading to M4, London.
Assuming that Rishi is one of the two that goes out to the membership, will recognise that in fact who's the best person who's best placed to beat Labour and Keir Starmer at the election. It actually, the public aren't daft, and I don't think our members are daft. Well, I don't know, they can only do it if you're being upfront with people.
Exit the roundabout onto Huntercombe Spur.
Not being upfront with people. And the key thing to be upfront about is the economics.
Just lastly, Sir Bob, if you could give us an idea of the sort of shenanigans which might be going on behind the scenes here, because when it comes down to the final two, it's taken out of your hands and it's handed over to Conservative Party.
Keep left at the fork.
There must be a concerted campaign to keep Penny Mordaunt out of that final two because she wins against everybody. So
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M4.
what do we all expect to happen now as that campaign gets into full swing, or is it in full swing already?
Well, I mean, as part of Rishi's team, we're just determined to get the maximum number of votes that we can to demonstrate, I hope, to our members in the country that they ought to rally behind the person who the majority of MPs support and who can see as having the credibility to do the job, and we're the people that have to work with them. I'm sure that there is tactical voting, of course there is, Andrew.
But do you think do you think that Penny Mordaunt will be the competition for Rishi?
Continue on M4 for 11 miles.
She might well be, but I wouldn't put money on it. I mean, it is a very unpredictable electorate, and one that, no disrespect to my colleagues, is capable of doing quite a bit of tactical work behind the scenes, if I can put it that way, Andrew. We've seen that in the past, that's all I'd say. That's not what I'm concentrating on as part of Rishi's team.
Good to speak with you. Thanks for your time this morning. That is Sir Bob Neill, Chair of the Justice Select Committee, Conservative MP for Bromley and Chislehurst, and part of Team Rishi. It is fascinating, isn't it? When you saw it last night, what were your impressions? Did you give it 5 minutes? Did you give it 10 minutes? Or did you stay with it all the way through? And what were your impressions? Did anybody look prime ministerial? Don't tell me that's not important. I certainly think it is. Read the TV debate, says Jonathan. Krishnan was easily my favourite for Prime Minister. The others are dreadful. Have a great show. Jonathan, thank you. And the best Prime Minister we have never had is Ian Dale, says John. Thanks for that as well. It's 0345 6060 973. 7:16 is the time. It's Saturday morning. It's July the 16th. And this is what we've got coming up.
A judge has ruled that life support treatment for 12-year-old Archie Battersbee can end. I'm Christian Hugier with the latest.
And Christian will be with me after the news. Simon Walker.
The UK is preparing for the hottest weather it's ever faced, with temperatures that could reach 40 degrees Celsius for the first time. The final 5 contenders for the Tory leadership took part in the first of the TV debates last night, and 3 people have died and a further 15 have been injured following Russian missile attacks on the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. The weather, a warm, dry day with plenty of sunshine for most of the UK, cloudy with scattered showers across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland later on in the day, highs of 28 in the south and 16 degrees in the far north.
LBC Travel, I'm Claire Sharp. The A40 in East Acton is blocked in both directions at Savoy Circus. That's because of an accident causing delays to up in both directions, but particularly busy on the eastbound side back to Gypsy Corner and on the surrounding routes. Several buses are on diversion. In Regent's Park on Canton Road, the traffic lights aren't working properly at Royal College Street, and that's causing delays. And in Battersea, Latchmere Road has been closed in both directions between Battersea Park Road and Lavender Hill after an accident. On the tubes, the Central Line has cancellations and severe delays. Because of the engineering works, there's no service on the District Line between Embankment and Upminster, and the Hammersmith and City Line isn't running.
This is LBC. Car owners, do you want the good news or the good news? Well, the good news is that Go Compare have now refunded over £2.5 million under their free access cover deal. The other good news is that Go Compare now offer a deal like that on home insurance. So whether you're after insurance or insurance, it's nothing but good news from Go Compare. Excess refunded after claim settled. Exclusions and T's and C's apply.
Larry photographed stars in the 60s. He saw fame captured from the sidelines. Supermodels staring back at him through his lens. Sessions at the recording studio with the biggest band on earth. Now, Specsavers Home Visit opticians help him keep everything in focus. Larry is just one of the amazing people we meet on our home visits. Find out if you or a loved one are eligible for a free NHS-funded home eye test by searching Specsavers Home Visits online.
Dell's Black Friday in July sale is here. Power productivity with a tech refresh now, and find special deals on top-rated business laptops and desktops. Plus, get big savings on the latest servers, storage, monitors and more, with free delivery and easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Upgrade today by calling a Dell Technologies advisor on 0800 085 4878.
Sending business packages, urgent documents or gifts across the UK or worldwide? Keep it local with the professionals at mailboxes, etc. We'll choose the best carrier for your parcel, its value and destination, and help with packing, tracking and paperwork too. To find your nearest store, visit MB
7 is the time. Just getting the newspapers organised this morning, and obviously last night's debate, which is what we're talking about, features very heavily. Apart from the Daily Express saying Boris's message to the next Prime Minister, you must finish job on Brexit, which seems a little odd to put on the front page, but there we are. Let me take you through some of the others. Morden insists she is up to the top job. Up to the job. Tory leadership contender hits back at critics by accusing rivals of black ops. I was trying to get some of that out of Sir Bob Neill yesterday, but just before the break, but didn't manage to get very far with that. Obviously, keeping Penny Morden off the list of 2, which will be offered to Conservative Party members this summer, would be a priority for anybody who wants to win, because she is the favourite amongst the Tory faithful, apparently. So that's the front page of the Daily Telegraph, along with Met Office issuing first red extreme heat alert. We'll obviously talk about that a little bit later on. The Guardian newspaper, thousands may die as record highs expected. Truss battles to save Tory leadership bid is a sub-headline at the bottom. Foreign Secretary hoping to breathe new life into faltering campaign with flurry of uncosted tax cut promises. Well, digging down into the detail is something that, well, who's doing that this morning? I mean, the papers might be, but what are you voting on? What are you thinking? Who looks Prime Ministerial? That's different than digging down into policy, isn't it? Times this morning, Sunak's plea for honesty. Rivals branded irresponsible in first TV debate. Truss attacked over promise of £30 billion tax cuts. Again, red alert, picture of a canoeist having a nice time somewhere or other. We move on to the Daily Mail this morning. Liz tax boost for families, so they consider it a boost. Previous papers saying it's costing 30 billion. Where's it all coming from? It's uncosted. Liz tax boost for families. Families will go for the tax break up to £2,500 under plans being considered by Liz. This is sharing personal allowances, in effect, isn't it? And Mordaunt under the microscope. I like Penny, but her as Prime Minister fills me with horror, says old boss Amanda Platel. Well, she'll get the clause in, so I might read that later on. And the Mirror this morning, meltdown, first ever red alert on deadly heatwave issued, as I say, more on that later on. I broke my arm to save my life. This is some story in the Sun newspaper. Who's this woman here? Who is? I'm supposed to know this, am I? This is Yasmin. Who's Yasmin? Oh, Towie. No idea. I used to know all of that stuff, and because I'd go on GMTV and it'd be like, I could tell you all about them. They would come on, I'd know about their families, the whole thing. Now I know nothing. And do you know what? My life's better for it. Take cover. 40 degrees Celsius, red alert in the UK, and we're going to the theatre on Monday night, which is going to be kind of interesting. Christian, I'll be with you in just one second. John's in Bethnal Green. Hello, John. Morning.
Hello. All this nonsense talk about these 5 people, I don't find any of it fascinating.
No?
You know, if you break the rules in government, you as a party should be shut down. Not the 5 years. You know, all that cabinet have been involved in all this. They've run up debts of 900 billion on the deficit of the debt, 37 billion on test and trace, 8 billion on procurement. You'd be sacked immediately, any of them things.
But John, you've made a mistake, mate. You've made a mistake yourself already.
What?
They've not been in 5 years. They've been in 12.
3? Oh yeah, they've been in 12. I'm counting from 2019.
Yeah.
The 5 years left. The 3 years. I know it all backwards. But you know, you can't have a party that couldn't get a 1-seat majority with Theresa May, got an 82-seat majority because the red wall went blue. Yeah. Now it's become a rainbow colour, looking for the pot of gold to pay for the debt that's been created. We're in such a bad situation. You've got people running the show. You know, it's all based on shares and profit. The people that are doing all the work, they're all going to come out on the pension. They're all going to come out and strike this summer. The summer of discontent. You remember 1974? I don't know if you're old enough.
I am.
1974. You know, we're going to go through that again.
So listen, you looked at them all, John. I don't think you're.
Yeah.
I think you're a goner when it comes to even looking at anybody and making a proper judgment anymore, John. You're just annoyed with all of them. You know, and I don't blame you.
I'm annoyed at what they've done.
Yeah, okay, so fine, but which one?
Well, I didn't sit at Wimbledon last week in the sun, watching tennis in a world that don't really exist. You did. You made it.
In 2 miles, at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes.
No, but
Come into the real
which
world.
one? John.
You into the real world.
Me?
You don't live in it, mate.
You don't know, mate. John, dear boy. Hold on, John, hold on a second. When, do you think you or Kyrgios is more angry?
Curious.
Do you think you or Kyrgios is more angry?
Listen, when you go from 40 love to losing the set, of course you become angry.
Very angry.
You feel
John, answer me this question. Which one of those people do you think is going to win last night? Because one of them is going to be Prime Minister. Which one do you think it is?
Well, Penny will win because Penny will finish up with Rishi Sunak, and the Tory party, the right-wing Tory party, will obviously go against Rishi Sunak and vote her in. Right. She's a 13 to 8 on chance. Lay out 13 to win 8.
I tell you what, the bookies don't get it wrong, and you're right. You're off. All right, John, take care of yourself. All the best, mate. Take care. Bye bye. 26 minutes past 7 is the time. Pretty emotional story now. We're going to get the details from Christian Hugill, but doctors can lawfully stop this life support treatment for Archie Battersbee. I don't know whether you've been following this or not, but let's get completely up to speed. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Yeah, let's run through what happened in this latest court case then. This is quite complicated. It's been going on for quite a while. Doctors at the Royal London Hospital have said that Archie is brainstem dead, and the hospital's lawyers have argued it was in Archie's best interest to stop treatment. Now, Archie's family disagree with that, and now again a judge has ruled that life support treatment for Archie can end. That is what a judge has ruled. Now, this is now the second time.
In a quarter of a mile at junction 3, take the A312 exit to Harrow, Hayes.
Previously agreed with those doctors and ruled that Archie is indeed dead. Yesterday, Mr. Justice Hayden also ruled in favour of the hospital. Now, as for how we got to this point, in April, Archie
exit at junction 3
at his family home with something tied around his neck. His mum thinks he may have been trying to do an online challenge. Archie hasn't ever.
In a quarter of a mile at Cranford Parkway interchange, take the 4th exit onto the Parkway, A312.
Between Archie's parents and lawyers representing the doctors who've been treating Archie at the Royal London Hospital in East London. Throughout the various court cases, doctors have argued that Archie is brainstem dead. Their firm belief is that Archie is unresponsive and sadly won't recover. His parents just aren't ready to give up hope yet, though. They are still hoping that he will be able to make some sort of recovery, to have challenged this every step of the way. Last month, the case went to the High Court, where a judge ruled Archie's treatment could stop. However, his parents argued that as his heart is still beating, they want his treatment to carry on. So they challenged the decision in the Court of Appeal, where 3 judges ruled that it was in Archie's best interest for the evidence to be reviewed by a different High Court judge. That is what happened this week. So as for the next step, after this latest ruling, Holly Dance, Archie's mother, spoke to LBC. She told us that despite this latest ruling, which once again sides with the doctors and the hospital, they are still...
Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway.
If he goes peacefully and God's way is the only way that will demonstrate is a flat line on the monitor. So
continue on the Parkway for 1 mile.
So I'm still going to fight until the very end, and I'm going to appeal again. He is responsive. The nurse this morning, she was quite flattered that Archie's heart rate rose when she said, "Oh, Arch, I've got 4 days off of work now," and his heart rate went up to 101, and it sat all night at sort of in its 80s. So he's responsive.
Well, after this latest ruling, the judge has refused Archie's family permission to appeal. However, they have a second chance by asking permission directly from the Court of Appeal. So they have until 2 p.m. on Monday to do that. It was the Court of Appeal that granted permission for the first appeal hearing that led to this. So Archie's family will now hope that the court makes that decision for a second time.
Christian, thank you very much indeed. It's an emotional one and full of detail. Thank you for presenting it to us, LBC's reporter Christian Hugill. 7:30 is the time. Listen, Heathrow Airport, any airport that serves a major conurbation anywhere in the world, it's got to work, it's got to be efficient. because if people don't come in, they don't spend money, they don't contribute to the economy. You know, it's just absolutely vital. The standard of the welcome, the quality of the welcome. I've been hearing stories about Heathrow and the baggage just completely and utterly piled up everywhere. It's not working at all. Now, that is an absolute disgrace. And well, anyway, we're going to talk about it. Have a listen to this.
When Heathrow came up with this idea, they basically just said to the airlines, right, stop selling tickets. No one sell any more tickets. As far as I can see...
In a quarter of a mile of Wagoners Roundabout, take the second exit and stay on the Parkway A312.
Agreed to cap sales of its flights out of Heathrow until mid-August, after the airport asked carriers to scale back capacity. I mean, can that possibly be the right way to avoid travel chaos this summer? There shouldn't be travel chaos in the first place. The only reason that there's travel chaos is because people haven't done their job properly and they haven't anticipated demand. It is a central part of British infrastructure, any country's infrastructure, the biggest, busiest airport. And they've got it completely and utterly wrong. I cannot understand it. More details with travel expert and journalist Lisa Francesca Nand after the news with Simon Morgan.
The UK's preparing for the hottest weather it's ever faced, with temperatures that could reach 40 degrees Celsius for the first time. A national emergency has been declared with a warning that people's lives...
Exit the roundabout onto the Parkway.
During the early part.
Continue on A312 for 1.5 miles.
The Tory leadership took part in the first of the TV debates last night. Honesty, trust and taxes dominated as the candidates set out their stalls and challenged each other's. And 3 people have died and a further 15 have been injured following Russian missile attacks on the Ukrainian city of Dnipro. The local governor says rockets hit an industrial plant late last night. The weather, a warm, dry day with plenty of sunshine for most of the UK. Cloudy with scattered showers across parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland later on in the day. Highs of 28 in the south and 16 degrees in the far north.
Next week on LBC, Angela Rayner.
People used to ask me whether I could be Prime Minister of the country, and after we've seen Boris Johnson, then I think absolutely.
Matt Hancock. You've got to ask the question of what do we want that person to stand for? Tom Tugendhat. Look, we've left. What we really need to be talking about is not the past but the future. Jeremy Hunt.
People are now saying not do we or don't we leave the EU, it's how do we make a success of Brexit.
West Streeting.
We've had the Chancellor lecturing struggling taxpayers about their duty to pay higher tax.
5 days, 5 new voices. Next week from 10 a.m. only on LBC.
First up in today's tour, a modern masterpiece, the new Italian stack from McDonald's. A carefully crafted burger made with 2 delicious beef patties, mozzarella and a splash of rich tomato sauce. An edible work of art. And over here in the collection, the exquisite crispy chicken Italiano. Delectable crispy chicken breast prepared beautifully.
Holiday from home with the McDonald's summer menu. Available until the 26th of July. From 11 a.m, participating restaurants subject to availability.
Not every all-electric SUV comes with permanent all-wheel drive as standard. But then, not every all-electric SUV is a Subaru. Introducing the Subaru Solterra, our very first fully electric vehicle. All-wheel drive, instant torque, fast charging at a range of nearly 300 miles. Book a test drive now at subaru.co.uk. Power your adventures in the Subaru Solterra. Range based on test conditions and may vary.
We are constantly bombarded by messages from all angles, here and far. Switching attention between smartphones and a billion distractions, it can be difficult to stay focused. Zeiss Smart Life lenses are designed to help your eyes better manage a world vying for attention from every angle, improving your field of vision so you can seamlessly shift your point of focus. In a digital world, isn't it time you saw the bigger picture? Zeiss Smart Life lenses, available at Boots Opticians.
At Barclays, we know everyone feels differently about risk. Some people are cautious, and others a tad more adventurous. So, whether you're the kind of person who microwaves mackerel, or the kind who microwaves mackerel in the office kitchen,
what is that smell?
Search Barclays Ready-Made Investments to see if we've got an investment match for you. Barclays, make money work for you. Investing is not for everyone. With investing, your capital is at risk and the value can fall as well as rise.
Andrew Castle on LBC.
7:35 is the time. Let's let's talk to Justin Oakhart, Stewart, about business and finance and all things. He is the co-founder of the Originally Investment Platform and, to put it mildly, has been around a bit. Hello, Justin. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, I suppose I have a bit, yes.
How long have you been in the business?
Oh, God, 50 years.